Everyone dreams of living an uncommon life, and the best asset you have to achieve your dreams is you. Welcome to the Uncommon Wealth Podcast. We're going to introduce you to people who are living uncommonly. We're also going to give you some tools and strategies for building wealth and for pursuing an uncommon path that is uniquely right for you.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of the Uncommon Wealth Podcast, where I'm your host, Phillip Ramsey. Today we have an in-person, in-studio interview. You all know that these are my favorite. We have Allison O'Grady, which is a veterinarian. This is the first time we've ever had a veterinarian on the show, so feel very excited about it. I am. Her name is Allison O'Grady. She graduated from Iowa State University. She has 4 amazing kids, married to her love of her life. That's how we got connected. She started St. Francis Veterinary Care October of 2023, and she's here to tell us all about it. So Allison, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay, my first question, what has been the biggest highlight that you've had since you've opened up in October 2023 of St. Francis Veterinary Care?
The biggest highlight for me is creating something from nothing.
Yes.
So we started out made from scratch vet clinic, rented a space, and now we have a functioning business that employs 3 awesome people. So to create 3 jobs from where there were no jobs, just opportunity is an accomplishment.
It totally is. Okay, you're going to be amazing in this show. Here's why. People are like, what does Uncommon Wealth have to do with a veterinarian clinic? Well, I believe that Uncommon Wealth people start things and create things from scratch. So they really are on an uncommon path, and they're maybe not doing the original financing or original wealth creation of just putting it in a 401k. They're actually getting their hands dirty. And that's what you're doing. Not only are you doing that, you're creating a job for somebody else that they get to be passionate about. You get to pour into them and things. So that's what Uncommon Wealth is all about. That's why you're perfect. So when did you decide that you were like, I want to start a business? Has this been a lifelong dream of yours, or?
Yeah, good question. When I was younger and decided to become a vet, that's kind of what you envision for yourself.
Yes. Is
being the self-employed vet.
Yep.
That dream has gone away and then come back over the years.
Right.
So there's been times where, a business owner has asked me, hey, are you considering this? And I was like, oh, I left that dream in the dust years ago, but it can be resurrected. So
yes, it can.
Yeah, it comes and goes.
That's right. So Iowa State, did you always love animals? Is that why you started going into this field?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I needed something to do with my life, so I was like, why don't I become a vet? And looks useful, so that's what I did.
Where'd you grow up?
On a farm in eastern Iowa.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
lots of animals.
Where at in eastern Iowa?
Alburnett, so it's a little tiny town north of Cedar Rapids.
Okay. Now, your dad was a farmer?
Yes.
Which is like the ultimate entrepreneur.
Yes.
You get to run a company, and then you have the weather to then deal with to see what's going to happen this year. So, so you've kind of had a taste of running a business, having a risk involved, right? Mm-hmm. And that is something that you wanted to get into. That's how it was started, I guess, for you, right, Allison?
Yeah.
Maybe not. So tell me about Iowa State. Did you have a drive to go there, or just wanted to be close to Iowa?
That is the best place to go if you want to become a vet. So I just went there for my undergrad and then stayed there through vet school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is that where you met John Hiatus, by the way?
No, I met him at Purdue, which is another vet school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us your whole career, and then we'll talk about John, because that's how you and I know each other. He and I play Ultimate Frisbee together. And he was, as we were warming up, he was telling about how proud he was of you and where you've come, which is fun, right? You didn't know that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he is. And I was like, tell me more. And we kind of got started. I was like, I would love to hear her story on our podcast. So that's how we got connected. So now back to you. Sorry.
Yeah. So when I was a 4th year, actually throughout vet school, I had kind of 2 loves. One is clinical vet practice, which is kind of the typical vet that I am today.
Okay.
And then also research. So you get exposed to research in undergrad and vet school. And so I had to kind of choose between those two. And actually, when I graduated, I went to Purdue and I was a pathology resident for a year.
Okay.
So that was if I wanted to do research, that's what I started out in. And then I kind of failed out. But that's where I met John.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, time to go get a job.
Real job. Yep.
So I went and it was a job. I was getting paid as a pathology resident, but it wasn't meant to be for me. So I went and became a dog and cat vet.
Okay. That's interesting. So Purdue didn't work, but you got the love of your life. So nailed it. Hashtag winning. Mm-hmm. And then how did you get back to Iowa?
We moved here 5 years ago, and it was actually, I followed John. So dog and cat vets are very portable. You can get a job anywhere. So we moved back to Iowa because John got a job at Corteva.
Yeah, that's how we know each other. Mm-hmm. Okay. What are your kids' age? That's what I want to know.
Mary is 2.
Okay.
Tom is... I always have to think hard with
That's okay. Yeah, me too.
Which is silly because I'm their mom. But Tom is 8.
Okay.
Rose is 10. And then Kate is 5.
Okay.
Soon to be 6.
Okay. What do you think that they think that you do? Like, how would they describe what you do every day?
Okay. They know that I take care of dogs and cats.
Okay.
So they know that I go and I help sick ones, and some pass away.
Yeah.
Some we save their life. Some we just deworm them, kind of normal stuff. So
That's good. Do you think they would want to go into the vocation that you did based on your response of how your business is going?
Yes, that's a good question. So some do and some don't.
Okay.
Rose, the 10-year-old.
Yep.
She not too into it. She's into it enough that she wants to spend some time at the vet clinic, but her goal is to become a teacher, so kind of going the other way.
Yeah.
She wants to own animals and be the pet owner,
Okay.
but she doesn't want to be the pet doctor.
I get it.
So I think she does pick up on some of the struggles and the hard work aspect of it. But Kate wants to be a vet.
That's exciting.
The 5-year-old.
Soon to be 6-year-old.
Yeah. And then Tom is more following his dad a little bit more into engineering and things like that.
Okay, Mary, we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
She's a wild card.
Yeah.
Well, I think that says something, right? There's a lot of times when I counsel somebody or I just sit down and talk, I'll ask them that question and they'll say, oh, absolutely not. And I want to be like, man, like, how have you portrayed what you do every day? Obviously, they have struggles. Every business owner does.
Yes.
But it seems like when people are a resounding frustrated, you can see how their kids are like, I don't want to do any of that. So it's good for you that you have at least one kid who's leaning in, right? So that's good. Okay, so let's talk about the business starting. So you've now started 2023. You decide, you and John, hey, we're going to do this thing. We're going to put a shingle up. We're going to try to help and run a business. Like, tell me the emotions for you going through that step. Was it easy, hard, scary, all of them?
I'm pretty kind of chill person. So definitely there's been kind of different seasons to it. When it started, it was kind of exciting. Yep. But at the same time, you're facing a mountain of work.
And a lot of bills.
Yeah. Like I couldn't even buy my own x-ray machine. I was like, John, you're used to spending your company's money. You do this. So I couldn't even do it myself. So that was that season. And then there's kind of the getting started season, which had a lot of ups and downs. So like I had to fire someone, and that's a first for me, and then lately it's been a lot of happiness, honestly.
Good.
So kind of a happier season because I have 2 workers that, they've been there over a year now. They're working out. And finally, we have enough systems in place that we have a vet clinic that needs managed still, but it doesn't need the overtime management that you do in the beginning. Startup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, proud of you. Because it's really only been about a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So that's why I was excited to get you on the show. Just like this initial seasons, I think that is how you said it, is like there's good times and there's tough times. And yet at the end of the day, when you take a step back and you see what you've created, you get pretty excited about, the future. So tell me, you said 3 people working for you?
I'm the third.
Okay.
So I have 2 people working for me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay. So tell me this, who helped mentor you in this? Or were you just going, you and John, winging a prayer, let's see what happens? Or did you have somebody kind of guiding you?
There is a group purchasing organization called Veterinary Growth Partners.
Okay.
And I signed up with them. And
Good.
you can kind of pick and choose how involved you want them to be with your business. So I did invest a little bit in them in order to have some mentorship from them. And
money well spent.
It was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the name. St. Francis Veterinary Care. I got to hear about it.
Oh, sure. So John and I are Catholic. So St. Francis is saint, the Catholic saint. He's a monk.
Okay.
Lived a long time ago in Assisi, Italy.
Did he like animals?
Yes.
He did? Okay.
So birds, wild animals and domestic. So we kind of picked that as a name just because it incorporates that into our business.
I like it.
And we actually happened to open on St. Francis Day. So
that's fun.
That was kind of fun.
Yeah. Very cool. Tell me about how your faith has played a part in opening up taking this step out and doing something on your own.
So I would say our faith kind of drives us as far as serving the community. I feel like, when you get up and you go out and you go to work every day, that service of others is kind of our way of showing them Christian love.
Sure. Right.
Is providing a reliable service, going above and beyond for their pets, and trust is part of that, I guess, as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had a conversation with a couple people that have turned into be missionaries. And I feel like I have a very different viewpoint on missionaries now. And I would say that business as a mission is kind of where I would fall when somebody's going out to missions, the missions field. It's like, hey, start a business so you can improve their environment and you can do something in the economic structure and they can come to you and you can show them the love of Jesus through that. Right? Which is kind of what you're doing with your business is, okay, how can I go serve other people in order for us to show the Lord that we get to serve, right? Which is so cool. So I love that. I'm all about that, by the way. And I think it's a really good idea, and this is why I get so excited about it, is because when you're doing something outside of just maybe sharing the gospel, you can tell people and they can see your heart by the way that you serve other people. Instead of like, hey, let me tell you about Jesus. Okay, great. But then you see them interact with somebody and you're like, that doesn't seem a lot like what you just said, versus somebody can come in the door and you can really care for their pet in this example. And they can see that was different, right? When I go to Allison and her team, it just seems different. So very cool. Okay. Sorry. I got on my soapbox. Tell me about how your husband has played a role in your business.
He has been supportive from the get-go. Granted, I came to him and I said, John, I'm going to start a business. And he was like, what? And I had to kind of look at him and say,
it'll be okay.
Now you got kind of two choices here. So before you say anything, know that this is probably the time that you need to be supportive. So I just kind of told him that before he said anything.
Yeah, right.
And he has. He made that choice. He signed a lease. He has supported me throughout. And I've had to lean on him some. And so during those times, he, ultimately was supportive, which is great, has been great. He manages people in his job. So there's been times where I'm like, hey,
what do we do?
Yeah, like you've had experience with this. How do I do that? And that's been helpful. So
let's talk about the biggest challenge or obstacle that you've had to overcome in the past year and a half of owning your business.
Okay. I would say probably the biggest challenge is getting a team together that's going to work.
Yeah.
So finding the right employees, that's key, and that's probably the biggest challenge that we've had. Because everything else you can figure out and muddle through, and with time you'll get there.
Okay. What about team culture? Obviously, it's pretty important. How do you say that you set the pace of team culture in your company? Or do you? I don't know. You can say no. There's somebody else who does that.
Yeah, I would say I probably do set it in our little company. So we have our kind of value we have put on the wall. And it's very kind of simple, and then everything else flows from that. And so our goal is to give pets richer, fuller lives, and their people kind of secondary to that. So it's short, it's simple, so everything else kind of flows from that. And so anything culture-wise that supports that, we try and do.
Sure.
Whether it's take the time to fully explain a situation to a pet owner, take the time to educate them about what's going on with their pet. Doctor actually means teacher, like the word means teacher. So we not only need to prescribe a medicine, but we need to educate that pet owner so they know how to manage their pet's medical condition. So we do a lot of that. Our culture is take the time to do a good job.
Sure.
Is kind of a big key while still being efficient in order to.
Right, you got to run a business.
Yeah. Well, and also you want to be able to help more pets, and the way you help more is to be efficient with your time.
Do you look at your business like clients? Like, we have this many pets clients, or like, how do you look at that? I don't know. This is new to me.
Yeah. So our medical records, we have pets, and then we have clients. So we have, like, for instance, different tabs, and they're pet owners, and you click on that owner and you'll see tabs at the bottom that are all their pets. So like one owner might have a couple pets.
Do you call them kiddos?
I don't.
Okay, I love you. You are the best. My veterinarian, they call them kiddos, and I was like, this is not my kid, this is my pet. Thank you.
I have, so one of my staff members does.
Okay.
So I think it's like a personal choice.
I get it.
So I do not, like John and my priest, he has a couple dogs. He does not.
Yeah, right.
So like, that's kind of our culture that we're in. But like one of my staff members does, and I accept that. Like, I'm not going to argue with her about it or anything. Yeah.
Okay, what do you do with dogs that are like the worst and don't like to get groomed? That's basically my dog. This is a personal question.
Yeah.
Do you give them meds? Do you knock them out? What do we do?
Yeah, that is a good question. So it depends.
Okay.
So some pet owners are very opposed to medications. We still work with them.
Okay. Wow.
But there's definitely a lot of dogs that benefit from medication for grooming.
Yeah.
And then, so what I typically try and do is usually give medications and then try and work with that pet, get them desensitized to grooming, get them trained, and try and wean off the medications with time.
Sure.
And that's a huge success is if you can eventually groom that pet without meds. It doesn't always happen depending on the pet, but that's kind of the goal.
Okay, where's your location? It's in Grimes, right?
Yes.
Okay, Grimes, Iowa. So that's fun. Not very far away. All right. Okay, craziest case you've ever worked on. All right, so the question is the craziest case you've ever worked on.
Okay. There's been a lot of them.
Yes. Oh, that's exciting.
Well, recently we took off a 6-pound tumor from a dog. So
Whoa.
it's a big chocolate lab, but 6 pounds is really big.
That's as big as my dog.
And it went really well. So he had a drain in for a while, and then we recently pulled his drain. So I was very happy with the whole thing. There's all kinds of crazy things that can happen, though.
And it's mainly dogs and cats. But has there ever been anything that you were like, I wasn't expecting a python today, and you're dealing with a python?
Yeah. One day we had a possum come in.
Oh, a pet possum?
It was a wild possum.
Okay.
And it had been caught in a trap, so its arm was mangled. And I did send that one to Ames because they have a wildlife care clinic there.
Yeah.
So I gave him some pain meds and kind of got him started on the right track. And then I sent him to hopefully someone who knows more about possums than me.
Yeah. That's good. Okay. Fast forward 5 years from now. Where is St. Francis at then? St. Francis Veterinary Care. Where is your business?
Yeah. I would say hopefully it has grown somewhat. I don't want it ever to get huge. But the AVMA, so the American Veterinary Medical Association, had a survey about like veterinarian happiness. And it indicated if you have about a 4-doctor practice, that your people are happy. If you get bigger than that, not so much. If you're smaller than that, right now I'm a single practitioner, so I'm kind of all on my own. Might be a little bit less than ideal. So I hope to grow in 5 years.
To about 4 practitioners?
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
eventually someday. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yep. So hopefully we grow and add not only doctors but vet techs as well, and receptionists.
Okay, so if you grew to the size you want, you'd probably have to get a new location.
Maybe. Our building is pretty small that we're in right now. So, and it's rented, so we'd have to talk to the landlord, see what we can do to get more space.
Yeah.
And then maybe eventually we'd have to get a new location if we got that big.
You're right.
Yeah.
Where do you go after practitioners? Just out of college? Or like, where do you...
Yeah.
How does one go about that?
So if you hire a new grad, definitely you have to spend a month or two training them. Because doctors kind of have the easy route of they get an internship and they get a residency before they're sent on their own. Whereas veterinarians, we really learn on the job once we graduate.
Gotcha.
So you'd have to train a new grad. And not only that, really, we kind of peak 5 years in to our career. So for those first 5 years, if that new grad has a mentor for 5 years, that's going to maximize their potential and make their life easier and more pleasant.
Right.
So if you're hiring an experienced vet that's already 5 years into their career, you probably have minimal minimal training, just a couple days, and then they'd be
on their own.
They'd be going. Yeah.
Right. Huh. Is there a lot of people that start their own veterinarian clinic, or are they usually like stepping into a practice?
Usually they're stepping into a practice.
Really?
Some practices are sold. In recent years, veterinary medicine's been moving to corporate veterinary medicine, which I have mixed feelings about.
Sure. Yeah.
There is one other vet who started her own practice in Polk City, Dr. Krauser.
Okay.
And then there is at least one in Ankeny as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Man, this has been fascinating, Allison. I'm proud of you. Good for you. Okay, what any final thoughts that you'd have about the veterinary clinic or going the uncommon wealth space or like trying to do something on your own, creating something?
I would say if you want to unlock your earning potential, definitely consider creating your own business. Yes. And location is key. So I picked a good location.
Yep.
And the first step, I think, is the USDA has a website that has numbers. So
good.
Numbers of pet owners, numbers of veterinarians. You can find a location where there's a need.
It's good.
Yeah.
Allison, you're a wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for taking the time with myself and also the listeners, just to inspire them to just do something, create something on their own. I'm grateful for what you're creating, and I'm grateful for John. So good job. And no matter what season it is, we're here to help encourage you and just be a cheerleader for you. We're huge fans. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you, listeners, for listening. And I think the biggest takeaway for me that I got from Allison is just having that kind of just a calmness, knowing that there are times where it's going to be crazy and chaotic, but there's also times of happiness and really a lot of joy. And then also, and this is always a theme, about how supportive the spouse is in the whole endeavor. So you've been listening to the Uncommon Wealth Podcast. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, go be uncommon. Thanks for listening.
That's all for this episode, brought to you by Uncommon Wealth Partners. Be sure to visit uncommonwealth.com to learn more about our services. Don't miss an episode as we introduce you to inspiring people who are actively pursuing an uncommon life.